Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Carolyn Jacobs. I'm with WGBH Education. We really appreciate you joining us this evening. We know how busy your lives are with hybrid, remote, in-person, and everything in between education, and it's changing all the time. And so thank you. Thank you for all that you are doing for your students and for us. This is the first in a series of 4 grade-specific webinars, all organized around a collection of science resources for grades K through 12, produced by GBH in collaboration with NASA. And the name of this collection is Bringing the Universe to America's Classrooms. And you can access the collection of resources on the website PBS Learning Media, free, of course. We are recording the session. We are also captioning it. You may notice the captions in the lower left-hand corner. That's where they are on my screen. We will send out the recording link in a follow-up email tomorrow. It should come to you at about the same time, about 7 o'clock tomorrow. And in that follow-up email, there will be some other links to help you out. At the end of the session, there will be a link for a very brief survey that really helps us do better. So we hope that you're able to take our brief survey. And at the end of it, you can download a certificate of completion if you'd like. We invite you to introduce yourselves in the chat if you haven't already, and interact with each other and the presenters through the chat. We have Angelica from the GBH team manning the chat. The presenters will also be looking at it. We really don't have time dedicated for Q&A. This is a 45-minute webinar, so we're going to go through things fairly quickly. But we will get back to you individually if we're not able to respond to you from whatever you post in the chat. This session is sponsored by GBH Education. GBH, of course, is Boston's PBS station and a producer of many of the programs that you see on your local PBS station. For example, American Experience, Frontline, Nova, Masterpiece, lots of programs for kids. And in the education department, we are committed to producing resources for teachers K through 12. We're also sponsored by PBS Learning Media, and this is the site that I mentioned is where you will find the resources that we're showing you tonight in the Bringing the Universe to America's Classroom collection. This is a platform of thousands of resources for K-12 across the curriculum. We're very strong in science and humanities, but we cover all subject areas. And you'll find short video clips, interactives, lesson plans, documents, audio files, etc. So if you are not familiar with the site already, I invite you to explore it. Our main presenter this evening is Shawn Stevens. She's at GBH Education, the Director of STEM Curriculum and Instruction. And she is joined by 2 wonderful teachers, Carrie Zagarella and Valencia Strickland Mills. Carrie has been working with us for a long time at GBH as a teacher advisor and a presenter on various webinars and at conferences. She's a performance poet, a writer, a 30-plus year veteran kindergarten teacher. She has degrees in early childhood and the arts. She is a committed teacher leader in her school and her community, and recently she helped co-found the initiative, This School is Your School, which is a professional development team that examines equity and social justice issues in school culture. And Carrie has been a very important part of the teacher advisory team on the project Bringing the Universe to America's Classrooms over the years. Welcome, Carrie. And then Valencia Strickland Mills is a little newer to us. She has served as a teacher advisor on the Universe collection last year, and that's when we first met. She has degrees in science and math education and curriculum and education management. She started her career out as a middle school science teacher and now is a STEM leader and at her elementary school in Stonecrest, Georgia. And one of her driving passions is to help teachers feel comfortable teaching science and to mentor students towards careers in STEM education. And both Valencia and Carrie are passionate about the resources and how they've used them in their classroom and the impact that they have with their students. So the very brief agenda here, what we have planned is Sean is going to start us off with an introduction to the Universe collection of resources with some specific examples and talking about the pedagogy behind them, how we develop them. Carrie and Valencia will then take over and give some specific examples of how they have used the resources in their classroom. And then I'll come back for a couple of closing remarks. So I'm going to turn it over to Sean.
Thanks, Carolyn. I'm going to first give you a quick introduction to that collection that Carolyn had mentioned, Bringing the Universe to America's Classrooms, and give you a quick overview of some of the resources that we have in that collection and how they might help your science instruction. As Carolyn said, this project was a collaboration with NASA and its affiliated organizations, as well as teacher advisors across the country. And without them, I think we wouldn't have resources with as good a quality as they are, and hopefully they'll be more useful to you because of their help. The resources address key learning goals for Earth, space, and physical science for K-12 students. They're not meant to be a curriculum or a unit or anything like that. They're supplementary resources. So they're designed to be flexible and adaptable so that they can fit into pretty much any curriculum wherever they're needed. Next slide, please. This here is the homepage for the collection within Learning Media. Down at the bottom is the URL, just in case you want to follow along. As you can see, the resources are organized by grade band. And then within each grade band contains some sub-collections organized by topic. For K2, they have the same collection, the same topics as the 3.5 does that's listed here. And within each of these topic collections, there are a set of resources, and they're all targeted towards key NGSS disciplinary core ideas. And they're also meant to help engage students in science practices. Next slide, please. We have many types of resources in the collection. The most straightforward are lesson plans. They're meant to be examples for how you can integrate media into a larger, coherent learning experience to meet important learning goals. Interactive lessons, these are kind of juiced up slideshows. So for maybe the second graders, they might be able to actually work through them independently, engaging with the media and doing associated learning tasks. But these also work well as being teacher-led experiences as well. And they're just organized and lined up sets of media for you. In addition, we have typical digital media images and videos, but also simulations and games, all designed to help students engage with phenomena and in science practices. Even though these are supplementary resources, it doesn't mean that nothing comes along with them. Because this is a NASA-funded project, we have to be 508 compliant. So there are a lot of accessibility features. The handouts and the interactive lessons are all screen reader compatible. All the videos are closed captioned. All the images have image descriptions, and a lot of our videos have descriptive video. We're in the process of translating all the student-facing resources into Spanish. So that'll be the handouts as well as the media itself. If you look up and see this little orange badge up there that says also in ES, that signifies that the resources is in Spanish. And that goes for across the board in PBS Learning Media, not just this collection. In addition, then we have support materials. Can you go back for a second?
Yes.
Please?
Mhm.
There's support materials for teachers and students. For teachers, we have background readings so that you can feel comfortable with the content and the media itself. We also have, for this grade band, almost all the resources have hands-on activities that go along with the digital media. And then for students, a lot of the resources also have handouts that go along with them. So when you think about digital media in the classroom, so often it's such a passive experience for students where they watch a video and somebody's there explaining in a fun, engaging way, but they're just explaining stuff. And so it's not much different than a textbook. What we really wanted to do was to take advantage of digital media and use it kind of in a different way that really will actively engage students. So we wanted to try to make data and phenomena more accessible to students in new ways, and just get them engaged, have them make careful observations of phenomena, look for evidence, and interpret data. Next slide, please. So really what our goal was to provide students the opportunity to figure stuff out, which is consistent with NGSS. So how can digital media help? So I think it's particularly useful when for Earth and space science, because so many of the phenomena really aren't something that you can truck into the classroom. They're either too big, take too long, whatever. Then also you can look at phenomena from multiple perspectives, because even if you can bring something into the classroom and experience it, sometimes it's useful to slow it down, look at it in a different way. You can kind of look under the hood and see what's going on. And I just want to say that even though the way we're talking about these resources is that, we want them to enhance instruction. We don't want them to completely replace hands-on or real life experiences. Next slide, please. So I'm going to just talk a little bit more about our resources and give you some ideas about what I mean by how they can help students engage in phenomena and practices. So this particular one is a new one, and it's evidence that the sun warms the earth. And in this case, this is a kind of an inaccessible phenomenon that very few places, while you can cook an egg outside in the sun, you can only do it in a few places on really, really hot days. So here's a video, but it does provide evidence that the sun really does provide a lot of warmth. Next slide, please. Also under this, this heading of the sun warms the earth is this PEEP video. And PEEP is kind of a animated series, from a PBS series, where PEEP, that little yellow bird, and his friends kind of explore the world around them, ask questions and investigate. In this case, they're investigating, they're noticing that it's cooler in some places than others, and realize that it seems to be much warmer in the sun than the shade. And so this would set you up to ask questions and relate to students' experiences, and now go outside and actually investigate. Put a rock in the shade and a rock in the sun, and come back in a few minutes and notice how the different temperature, or you could even do it quantitatively. Next slide, please. Media can also, just in terms of weather, if you're studying weather, you can usually only experience a little bit of weather wherever you live. And if you live down in Florida, you may never see snow. Or I know I had my godson in Las Vegas didn't know anything about clouds because it was hardly ever cloudy there. So media can really help with that. In addition, the advantage over like textbooks is that you can make not just visual observations, but also audio observations. So next slide, please. This is, can you please play the video, Carolyn?
Yep.
So this is a resource where students can not only make observations of the weather factor, but they can also hear it. Thanks. So you can see that students can not only see what effect wind has, but also what does it sound like. I see somebody's asking the question whether these resources are assignable, and yes, they are. I forgot to mention that they are completely integrated with Google Classroom, and Angelica is putting in there all the other places, all the other platforms that it's compatible with. As well as that we have our own platform as well that you can assign. And what's really nice also is that a lot of our videos, not all, but a lot of them are downloadable. So if you have sketchy Wi-Fi, you can download it and then you'll have it locally and you can just project it and show your kids. Next slide, please. Thanks. The digital media can also provide opportunity to have some tools to help your students communicate their ideas and understanding. So instead of having to write out a big sentence about what is the evidence of wind, they can look at this image, they can circle both wind that's going on the left, there's evidence of wind that's happening right now, and on the right, evidence of wind that has happened in the past. Next slide, please. So something else that can be inaccessible is just time, or especially for these space phenomena. If you want to look at consider the path of the sun, the moon, when are the sun and moon out, and answer those kinds of questions, it'd be media can help. Can you please play this? Carolyn, thanks. So this is an interactive or an animation that we have, or simulation actually. And so it takes us through 30 days. And it takes us through a full lunar cycle. So you can see that the moon's, it's changing its appearance as the days go by. And so by having this to complement the real life observations that you can make from the classroom or at home at night looking at the moon, this allows students to actually be able to start identifying patterns in the movement and appearance of the sun and the moon. Okay, thanks, Carolyn. Next slide, please. So that's 30 days, which is for especially these early elementary kids, a really long time. But what about these geological processes that are just lifetimes and eons? And so even I sometimes have trouble thinking about a process of erosion and how that can really change the landscape. So this is a new resource that we have that shows how both wind and water change Earth's surface. So here we start out with a video where there's just this kind of pretty calm stream, and we go underwater and see that just little bits of stuff are just constantly moving, constantly moving. Thanks, Carolyn. Can we go back?
Go back to the slides or go back to?
Yes, please. Yeah. Oh, and so now students can look and see that they can see that little bits of sand and rock are moving constantly with this flowing water. So next slide, please. Then we have another video where you can see, we're not going to play it this time, but there's ocean waves coming in, hitting that cliff, and just washing away bit by bit underneath there. Then they can go to, in the lower left-hand corner, they can go to a different perspective and see that little overhang that's up in the original video. And then a few days later, it falls down. So just by piecing these things together slowly, you can start to conceptualize how just this little bit of flowing water moving just bits of sand can end up making really large changes in the landscape. Another new resource we have also it focuses on these geological processes. And and some of these processes are fast and some of them are slow. And so there's a series of phenomena that have videos and or before and after images. And so students can make careful observations and then argue about whether they think it's fast or slow. And this is a place we can start talking about scale and what it means, not just within their experience, but in a larger context of Earth. Next slide, please. This is another Earth science, Earth systems resource that we have, landforms. And this shows landforms from multiple perspectives. So first we have the Plum Landing kids talking about how to describe hills and valleys. Then we have some real life images, both from the ground level and aerial views. And so these were designed to help students start making that connection between these two perspectives, which is also really important for building map reading skills and understanding how to interpret maps. Next slide, please. So then finally, after that, you could go and use this Plum Island Explorer, which is a game. And students navigate around the island that's up there in the upper left-hand corner. And so they pick up tracks and read clues and navigate around the island following a map. So those are some some resources to an illustration of how you can use some of these resources in series to make larger learning experiences. Next slide, please. And back at the beginning, I had said something about how we really want these resources we don't want them to replace real life or hands-on experiences. But we do have a set of resources that really can be used to help enhance those hands-on experiences. These are just a few examples where either PEEP or some children go out and actually engage in science practices. So whether they're going outside after a rainstorm, looking for evidence that it did rain before. The picture down below is where they're tracing shadows and watching them change over time. So something that you could do is use these to sort of model them for students, so then they understand what they're going to go out and how they're going to investigate. And in this time of remote learning, something like this may also help provide instructions and give students a better idea of things that they can do to do investigations at home. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, who's going to tell you a little more in depth about how she teaches weather.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Sean. So I'm excited to share some of the resources that I use from the collection. And also, I'd just like to mention that when you get on the site, you can start making your own portfolio. So there's a tab where you can put all your favorites in. So it gets really crowded because there's so many things that you'll enjoy once you get into it. I've been using the weather resources from the PBS site for a long time, a few years now. And you'll see in the green square, this is, we broke down the next generation science standards at our school. And we use these standards for our weather studies that completely relate to the resources from PBS. And in the lessons, every lesson, there's a tab to see all the standards, as Sean mentioned. And but what we focus on is the science practices in kindergarten. And I'm so glad you mentioned that a couple times, Sean, because it's so important. And you can look those up, but they're just about, making observations and having behaviors like a scientist. We use the big overall question, what is weather? And it just happened that when the resources in PBS Learn came out and I was looking at them, that is the exact name of their lesson plan. So it went hand in hand, very, very well. You'll see that there's a student there recording the weather. So this is a daily routine from our everyday math program, and it just completely goes with the resources. As Sean said, it's a complement, but it also is really comprehensive. So they're age appropriate resources. They encourage interaction and practical use in the classroom. So let's look at the next slide. And this, you can see how in depth you can get right into this and go, oh my God, there's so much here. Or, like what I did is I picked some things that I was wanted to use. And there's also a very, we'll look at that for a second, a very organized lesson plan that has all kinds of things embedded in it that you can use. But this lays out all of the resources that are available in this lesson. And you can see there's different tabs for overview, procedure, and standards. And you can throw your own flair on that, or you can just follow along. And I think you'll find it very, very useful. One of the things, the videos are concise and informative. And also when you're looking at something like, I look down in the media in this lesson, I look at weather factors, interactive lesson, that they focus on the 4 factors of weather. And so many of the resources come in at different entry points, which allows students, more access. More students with different learning styles will have more access to the information. And Sean mentioned that there's different styles too. There's cartoons and there's, live action, and some of the resources that had kids themselves doing the investigations were a big hit in my classroom. Yeah, if we could go to the next slide. I thought it was going to be PEEP, but that's okay. This is the lesson, the look at weather factors. And if we're ready, we could, I thought there was a slide with for the PEEP videos, but
the back. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just one slide. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I didn't want to miss Peep because every time Sean mentioned Peep, I just smiled because everybody loves Peep and his crazy friends and their wild adventures. But this is just an example that, you know, you can look at each of the weather factors in a fun and engaging, very short way. So there's that. Now I'll take the next slide. I think it's our weather station. Yes, you can make your weather station very kid friendly. This is tailored after everyday math with some Zagarella flair on it. But you can see there's so much data to gather and the kids can really do a lot of comparing of the months. And we often chant weather changes all the time, and that is built in to the PBS collection that kids will chant that and know that. You'll see I put up some signs about like 4 factors because we need a lot of visuals, and the kids themselves taking the data is what makes it really true to them. And I just did a little close up because when we made up little scientific names for the phenomenon that happens in data. So you'll see that 64 degrees, 2 days in a row. If you don't know, that's called googly eyes, of course, very scientific. And there's like the 3-eyed monster at 48 degrees, a little lower. So you make it your own and you make it fun. And there's many ways to do that. If we could take the next slide, that'd be great. Here's some more examples, and weather is just the perfect thing to study for all of us, but especially for kids, because outdoor recess or indoor recess, going out to play with friends, being able to do things, what coat they have to wear, what things they have to do. And it's accessible, it's right outside your window. So it's a great thing to study. And there's so much in the collection. We can go to the next slide. And I do think that is, I think we're gonna look at the weather factors. Before that, yeah, and if we could just show the first picture of the lesson. So I did this as a group on a, trying to check my time here. I did this in a group as a group lesson, and just the first picture just shows this boy with his baseball staring out a rainy window. Of course, it's very kid friendly, and every kid has felt like that, and we have too. If we could go to the next slide, because I'm going to squeeze that in here. So public school teachers, we have a lot of mandates. The collection of weather provides an excellent thematic framework that you can put other things in. So I just draw your attention to this writing center, and it incorporates Lucy Calkins' units of study, informative writing, and read to learn information. So that's what we have there. And I think I'm running out of time, so I just want to go to the next slide. We designed a STEAM activity where kids would make their own device to measure the wind. Science practices galore in that. And the final slide, sorry, I was like talking so fast.
That's
the
okay,
final
Terry.
slide,
Yes, Terry, take a minute. You're okay. You're okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want to speak to this slide a little more before we get to the haiku.
Okay. This is how you can really incorporate other things into that really solid framework. So we didn't have any way to measure the wind. So we developed this STEAM activity, uses a lot of the science practices and the observational drawing and then the testing. So you can see Spencer's very excited about having that hung up. And if you work with young kids, this is like how they really learn, is like hands-on designing, problem solving. So thanks. I was able to breathe now, Carolyn. Okay. Another point of entry, all of these are just different points of entry, which is what you need. Is just poetry. And I love poetry. I write poetry. Some poems that we've used, and I really love this weather haiku. Now this uses the vocabulary from the weather collection because it has a list of vocabulary words, and this uses that and incorporates what we had to do with phonics by studying syllables and incorporated what we have to do in mathematics by studying simple equations. So we're just going to watch a short video of a girl reciting an original haiku. Okay, there we go.
By Jim Kelly. Lightning, rainstorm, cloudy wind, gust, thunderstorm, precipitation.
Can you read the equations?
3 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 equals 7. 5 plus 0 equals 5.
How about a round of applause for June's weather haiku? Thanks, June.
So in conclusion, I would just say, when you start to look at the vast amount of information, do not let it overwhelm you. Use that favorite option and just try a thing, and then you'll go back for more. So thank you. I'm happy to share with you. And Valencia, can't wait to hear you.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone again. My name is Valencia Strickland Mills. I am a STEM lab teacher at Flat Rock Elementary School, which is in a school district that's just east of Atlanta. We have been virtual since March 2020, so I have not seen the children's lovely faces outside of the computer, the virtual world. So I had to make a pivot to coming from a lab that was fully stocked with lots of materials for children to use to now they're home. And, you know, in the height of the pandemic, we were asked not to, you know, to limit going out and shopping and things like that. So really trying to be creative and intentional when designing activities for my students to do. And this resource, Bringing the Universe to America's Classrooms, has really been helpful to me. So I just wanted you to kind of get an understanding of the fact that, you know, whereas Carrie actually face to face with her students and she's had a lot more time with it, I'm very new with it. This was my first year on the advisory group. I really enjoyed it and learned so much. So this is one of the assignments that I came up with for my students, was to create a comic book. The characters were the sun, clouds, moon, and stars. They're to provide information about the objects in the sky and how they change. My students knew that these objects existed in the sky, but learning about those patterns and how they change was something many of them hadn't recognized quite yet. This was actually, yes, something for my second graders. Next slide, please. All right, so one of the things that I love about the program and the options that are available was definitely the lesson plans. The lesson plans anticipate everything that a teacher would possibly need with their lessons, ladies and gentlemen. As Carrie spoke about before, there is so much in a lesson plan that I don't think you can go wrong. I love the videos. The videos are nice and short. I teach every child in my school building from kindergarten to 5th grade. So I don't get a lot of time with them. I can't spend a lot of time with showing videos or slides or anything like that. And I love the fact that I can download them if I need to. So if my internet is not working correctly that day or something's going on, I could download it right to my jump drive. They can easily be placed into Google Classroom. When I make an assignment, I can just add that video as a resource to help them. So they may have seen it with me, but then I provide it through Google Classroom for them so that they can then go back to that video if they need to, replay, repeat, whatever. Another picture that I have here is of a PDF that they provide. That can easily be uploaded into another program like Pear Deck or something like that, and then each of the children can annotate right on it, and then I see everything electronically. So there's no situation where the children are having to upload things on their own or anything like that. It's all seamless. it works really well. And I definitely appreciate the fact that I can assign those videos, I can assign interactives directly to the children so they can practice and have some insight in those things. Next slide, please. And of course, everybody's talked about PEEP. PEEP is very popular. I think they did an excellent job with providing this particular resource for this age group because it makes it so simple and easy for them to understand. One of the things that I definitely suffer from with trying to squeeze everything into such a short amount of time is sometimes with my questioning with my students, I don't get to those higher order thinking skills because I'm worried about finishing the project or finishing, making sure that I have enough time. The teaching tips, the support materials for teachers, they really gave us a lot of bang for our buck as far as the time is concerned. I can go right into those teaching tips or those teaching resources and pull those questions. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I make myself a little cue card to help me remember, okay, this is the question that I need to ask in order to really, I guess, dig deeper into their understanding of the concept and make sure that they understand the concept. Basically, I definitely want to go beyond basic recall with them. I constantly point back to the engineering design process. And even when we're just creating a project, we're still going through the engineering design process. And one of the final things that I like to do with them is have them present whatever it is that they have completed, whether it's interactive or creating a short video through something like Flipgrid to help me understand that they got the concept essentially. So I know I kind of rushed and put it in third gear, rushing through, but I hope you were able to get a clear understanding of exactly me as a new person. I don't know everything about it, but being able to pull pieces that I could use and that basically help to supplement whatever activity I came up with for my children was really exciting and interesting for me. Um, I think this resource is awesome. I don't know why more people aren't on it, but it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Great. Valencia, thank you so much. And you as a sort of newbie to the collection, but your input over the year has been invaluable as we continue to revise and publish new resources on the site. So I love both you and Carrie, your authentic comments and being very frank about the struggles that you have. Students are lucky to have you both. So I'm going to give a couple of closing remarks. This is just a reminder that everything you saw tonight is on pbslearningmedia.org. You can browse the site without signing in, but we encourage you to sign in because then you can make use of the site and all its functionality by downloading resources, saving them to folders, assigning them to students, etc. I just wanted to make sure you're not left with the impression that PBS Learning Media is only about bringing the universe to America's classrooms. There are thousands of other resources. There is a collection, a professional development collection that is organized around the character of Peep for educators of young children. Pinkalicious and Peterific is an arts and creativity program, and resources from that program are on the site. Curious George, of course, Arthur, and Molly of Denali, which is a relatively new program on television. Some of you may be familiar with it. It is the first animated program that features an indigenous main character, Molly of Denali. And Molly gets into lots of escapades. The education connection is understanding informational text. These are all for the grade band that we are hosting tonight, K2. So coming up, we have 3 more in this series, grades 3-5, grades 6-8, grades 9-12. The links to register for them, Angelica will try and get them in the chat. Otherwise, you'll get them in the follow-up email, or you can always email me if for some reason you're not on our email list. But we are already registering people for, excuse me, the 3-5, and then the 6-8 will follow shortly after that. All right, here is the URL for the survey. This will be in the follow-up email that you get tomorrow also. But Angelica will put this in the chat, and I'll keep it on the screen right now. We keep the survey open for about a week. And again, you can download a certificate after you take the survey. We are very active on social media on all of the major platforms, and this is my contact information. So you are welcome to email me with any questions or comments you have. That's my role, is to connect with teachers. And especially if you have any interest in being one of our teacher presenters or working with us in other ways beyond attending our sessions. So let me know if that's of interest to you. We have a lot of experience working with people who are new, and we'd love to work with you too. So I'm going to go back to the survey slide, just in case you need that. And thank Valencia and Carrie and Sean. Thank you very much. We did a great job. And we're just 2 minutes over our time. So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Angelica, for holding down the chat. If you have an interest in saving the chat, you can do that at the very bottom. There are 3 dots that you click on, save chat, and it is saved to your documents folder. That's where it appears. And if you have any issues with that, doesn't work, I can certainly help you out with sending it to you. So that's it. Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you joining us. I'll keep the room open for another couple of minutes to let you read the chat further, and then wish you a lovely evening, and thanks for everything that you do.